The online presentation class.
Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to my online presentation. Here presenting myself, Sonia Yasmin, Department of Agriculture, Milestone College, Uttara, Dhaka. Let's start my lecture.
Today, I will discuss about chapter number 3, section number 1, that is System of Animal Rearing. Some important applied and higher order ability based questions and answers. About the learning outcomes of this chapter. At the end of this chapter, you will be able to know housing techniques for cattle and buffalo, types of houses and its criteria, balanced feed for livestock and its preparation, hay and silage preparation, disease management for livestock, problems and possibility development of livestock, and finally, discussion about important applied and higher order ability based questions and answers. Now, what are the types of house? Here presenting some more important types of houses. First of all, open system. Secondly, confined system. Thirdly, single row shed. Fourthly, double row shed. And fifthly, face to face double row. Finally, back to back double row. These are all about the types of houses. Now, feed for livestock, which is very much more essential for growth and development of any cattle and buffalo or any animal. There are two mainly types of feed for cattle, roughage and concentrate. Cattle, buffalo, goat. On the basis of nature and quality, livestock feed can be divided into of two types, roughage and concentrate. Roughage, the feed containing high quantity dietary fibers, for example, green grass, straw, dry grass, millets, maize, preserved grass in silo, etc. And concentrate, the dry feed having very high concentration of nutrients, for example, rice, wheat bran, mustard, teal, groundnut, etc. In rural areas of Bangladesh, cows and buffaloes are fed only with straws. They are also fed with grasses and herbs collected from roadsides, aisles, crop fields, wheat bran, oil cakes, etc. Many oil-to-dough farmers feed their cattle and buffalo with rice bran, guel, wheat meal, and oil cake. Baksha, Sharma, Badal, Thaincha, Kella, Bilkia, etc. are fed for the cattle. Besides, leaves of many trees are used as cattle feed instead of green grass. Among them, leaves of jackfruit, ipilipil, and rain tree are worth mentioning. Now, balanced feeding helps in physical development, maintenance of body temperature, increasing working efficiency, instrument, nourishment, and milk production of cows. Besides, storage of balanced feed weakens the cows, reduces milk production and reproductive activities. Hence, cattle feed management is one of the important aspects of animal rearing. Balanced feed for cow is to be formulated by providing adequate amount of roughage and concentrate feed. The amount of feed is to be determined considering the availability of feed and output obtained from the cow. A simple chart of balanced feed for a cow is given below. First of all, preparation of balanced feed for fresh green grass 12 to 15 kg per day, dry straw 3 to 4 kg per day, concentrate feeds 2 to 3 kg per day, water sufficient amount of pure drinking water. Preparation of concentrate feed mixture, rice bran 2 kg, wheat bran 5 kg, broken khesari 1.8 kg, groundnut oil cake 1 kg, mineral mixture 100 gram, and finally salt 100 gram. And some important thumb rules can be followed to feed the animals. The amount of roughage should be provided as per demand of an animal. A local cowshed buffalo without milk production can be given 1.5 to 2 kg concentrate feed per day. An improved cattle breed without milk production may need 3 to 4 kg concentrate feed daily. An additional zero point 0.5 kg concentrated feed per day is to be given for every 1.5 liter. Additional milk production along with green grass and straw. In case of unavailability of green grass, an additional zero point 0.5 kg concentrated feed per day is to be given for every 1.25 liter milk production. Administer concentrated feed twice daily for better result. Milk production can be increased by providing higher amount of green grass to supplement the amount of dry straw. Hay preparation. Hay is valuable because it provides farmers with a food source that can be easily stored and transported throughout all the year, and international for that matter. With high levels of protein, fiber, minerals such as calcium, potassium, sulfur, manganese, and zinc, and vitamins such as beta carotene, hay is extremely nutritious. In fact, it has been estimated that a diet of at least 50% hay can help dietary cow produce up to 10,000 liters of milk per year. Some processes should be followed for preparation of hay. They are hay. First of all, hay is cut when about 10% of the crop is flowering. At this stage, the plant is full of energy, protein, and sugars. Plants must have a high leaf to stem ratio. The more leaves, the better because they are packed with nutrient. Using sharp blades like a lawnmower, the hay stems are cut above a point on the stem called the crown. The height must be perfect because cutting too low will damage the crown and affect the plant's ability to regenerate. A conditioner machine is used to squash the plant stems and leaves. The process helps extract nutrients and make it easier for cows to digest. It also increases the speed and consistency for drying. The cut and conditioned hay is left in rows to dry out. Warm days with low humidity, plenty of sunlight and wind are ideal for drying hay. During stops, the plant's chemical and biological activity and reduces the possibility of the hay going moldy. The hay is raked into long heaps called a windrow. This row has stopped the hay from blowing around the paddock and means it is also lined up and ready for when the baler comes. Balers use indiolegs that packs the hay into light bales. Care must be taken to ensure the leaves and stems remain intact and that the moisture in the hay is just right. And finally, hay bales are transported and stored. They can be stored for years like a well-stocked planting. And these are all about hay preparation. Most importantly, silage preparation. Silage is the fodder which is conserved by reducing pH throughout natural anaerobic fermentation and is used for feeding during scarcity period, drought or floods, and for utilizing surplus forage. The suitable crops are sorghum, maize, and oat, etc. During lean period, feeding of silage acts as a green fodder and maintains livestock productivity. Silage making means preservation of chaffed cereal green fodder in anaerobic condition by way of fermentation method. In anaerobic condition, no air inside pit or tank. With the help of microorganisms, sugar content in green fodder is converted to lactic acid, which help to preserve the green fodder for longer duration. Respiratory function of living cells present in green chaffed fodder utilizes oxygen in airtight conditions and releases water and carbon dioxide in closed environment in pit or tank. Due to carbon dioxide releases in pit or tank, air inside is expelled outside as well as organisms which depends on oxygen like bacteria and fungi cannot withstand in carbon dioxide atmosphere in tank or pit. This affects into preservation of chaffed green fodder in silo pit or tank as silage for longer duration for 6 months or maximum a year if good care is taken. How silage is prepared? During the silage making process, the pasture is cut with the grasses contain the highest nutrient levels. This level is attained just before they are fully mature. The reason why it scarred just before they are fully mature is that all forms of preserved grass, such as hay and silage, will have lower amounts of nutrients than fresh pasture, so everything must be done to make the end product be as nutritious as possible. During silage preparation, the grass is allowed to wilt in the field for a few hours to reduce the moisture content to around 60 to 75%, as this is the optimal level. If the grass is left out longer, it may get too dry or it may get rained on, and both these will reduce the efficiency of fermentation. And finally, the process is selection of forage crops and their maturity stage. The optimum dry matter for crop harvesting for silage depends on the stage of harvesting. Most of the crops are harvested of 50% flowering to dwarf stage, when moisture content varies between 18 to 22%. After overnight wilting, the dry matter content becomes 30 to 35%, which is proper dry matter content for ensilage. Optimal silage for crop harvesting. Common forage crops. Stage of harvest: maize 50% flowering to dwarf stage, sorghum 50% flowering to dwarf stage. And silage making involves four major stages: harvesting and transportation, chaffing and filling, and compaction and covering of silo. Pit making: firstly, silo pit is to be dug for storing silage. The pit size may be determined based on the amount of silage to be stored. A pit with a dimension of 1 meter wide into 1 meter length into 1 meter depth can store 500 kilograms of silage. The location of pit should be free from water stagnation. The pit should be surrounded on all sides with thick plastic sheet. Pit can be constructed using bricks and cement. And finally, preparation of fermentation mixture. For preparing 1 ton silage, the following materials are required: jaggery or molasses 1 kg, salt 1 kg, mineral mixture 1 kg, DCB dicalcium phosphate 1 kg, lactic acid bacteria, urea 1 kg. Mix all the above into a drum by adding water. And harvesting at proper stage but delay at transportation may lead to loss of excess moisture, results a haylage. And finally, chaffing: it has to be chopped into small pieces perfectly and 2 to 4 centimeter length using chaff cutter. This improves the packing density with favors of growth of lactic and bacteria naturally present in crops. And finally, this is all about silage preparation procedure for giving balanced feed for cattle and buffalo. Now it's about to know disease management for cattle and buffalo and goat. Now, most harmful disease: foot and mouth disease, that is FMD. FMD virus, also known as picaria virus, causes this dangerous type of contagious disease in hoofed animal. A healthy fresh animal may be infected by the direct touch of diseased animal or its use, feet, salvia, utensils or via air. Some symptoms: harmful symptoms. Blisters come out on mouth, tongue and hooves. Within few days, blisters burst out and wound become opened. Salvia is discharged from the mouth. Initially, body temperature rises to 104 to 106 degree Fahrenheit and later on may become normal. Infected cattle cannot walk, eat and hence become very weak. In case of milking cows, milk production is drastically reduced. Cows, if infected, die in almost all cases. Older animals may be able to recover the injury. These are all about symptoms of foot and mouth disease. Some prevention and or remedy measures for controlling the disease. To prevent new infection, diseased animals should be separated at once to a cleaner, dry place. Vaccinate all the healthy animals with FMD vaccine. Feed the infected animal with liquid or soft food. Infected hooves and tongue must be washed 3 times per day up to 3 to 5 days with 3% lotion solution. After washing, hooves are to be treated with antibiotic power. Provide adequate treatment to wounds in mouth and tongue. Consult with the experienced veterinary doctor immediately. One more harmful disease of anthrax. Causal organism is a bacterial disease that may be seen in almost all kinds of animals. Thus may spread through a direct contact with diseased animal. It breaks skin, bones, fleas, bearing the germ, etc. Symptoms: diseased animal may be down suddenly on the floor, first erected with the rise of body temperature 104 to 106 degree Fahrenheit. Now, severe tremor and shivering are observed. Sudden death may occur and after that its belly swells up. Their back mucus is discharged from the nose, ear, mouth, etc. mixed with blood. Blood clotting does not take place after its death. And finally, the treatment. Vaccination against the disease is the best method for prevention. Penicillium injection may become harmful if given just after infection. Or truthful. Clean and hygienic rearing is essential to protect the animals. Not to handle too much of the dead animals, rather bury it deeply and spread some live cover on it. The dead animal may be burnt to stop spreading or germ. These are all about the anthrax disease. Now, know important applied and higher order ability based questions with answers. Now, STEM come from Dhaka, Chittagong, Sylhet, Borishal and Dinajpur Board 2019. After watching a report on cattle fattening on television, Turabali bought 5 bull calves to fatten the cows. He feeds the calves normal food every day, but they are not getting fat. He went to the nearest animal resources officer. The officer advised him to process urea and chitakur and feed it. Now, some important questions. First of all, applet type question. That is question number C. Explain how Torabali makes urea molasses block. The procedure for preparation of urea molasses block are: first of all, mix the urea with water and coarse wet. Add molasses and stir until this coarse salt is completely dissolved. Add cement or limestone and continue steaming. And finally, mineral mix and continue steaming. These are all about the preparation for molasses block. Some important points. And then after that, the question number D, that is higher order type ability based question. Evaluate whether Torabali will be beneficial the advice of the animal resources officer. And this answer is yes. Torabali will be benefited with the advice of the animal resources officer, because when Torabali feed the natural or normal food to the cattle or bull calves, then they will not get fat. But when he took the urea molasses and feed them properly, then they get fattened, because urea molasses block consists of various kinds of vitamins, minerals and full of nutrients. So these are all about these questions and answers. Stem come from Dhaka, Chittagong, Sylhet, Borishal, Dinajpur Board 2019. Here is the stem. Mr. Russell, a veterinarian, visited Sundarganj in Gaibandha on holiday and noticed from falling from the nose and mouth of a cow tied to his uncle's yard. Going to the cow, he identified the disease well. He advised the uncle to solve the problems and take preventive measures to prevent the disease in the future. Here is the question. Question number C, that is applied based question. According to the stem, how can you detect the disease? Explain. According to the stem, this disease can be detected by noticing foam falling from the nose and mouth, and this disease is foot and mouth disease, which I told you before or I have discussed you before. And finally, the question number D, that is higher order based stability based question. Prevention is better than cure. Analyze this statement in the light of the stem. Yes, prevention is better than cure. There are certain diseases that cannot be treated, so that prevention is better than cure. When any livestock is ill, no, some body functions get weakened and can never fully recover. It takes time to cure a disease, and this livestock is likely to be in bedridden for some time, even though adequate care is provided to him. So, for this reason, prevention is better than cure, and prevention is very much important. And comprehensive preventive care program can lower these odds of becoming another statistic. For example, preventive risk factors such as avoiding any kind of harmful diseases. These diseases can stop any kind of harmful disease recurrence. So, for this reason, prevention is better than cure. Here, some question. One more question is Rajshahi Joshua Komilabo 2019. Here, two figures are given. Figure number X and figure number Y. Question number C is compare between the two cows according to the stem. According to the stem, we can see that figure number X indicates local cattle of Bangladesh and figure number Y indicates Holstein Friesian cattle of Bangladesh, which originated from Holland or Netherlands. Now, the differences between local cattle and Holstein Friesian. First of all, local cattle. These breeds become quite smaller than exotic and other breeds, but in case of Holstein Friesian, become larger than local cattle. Secondly, local cow and ox may weigh up to 120 to 130 and 250 to 260 kg respectively. But in case of Holstein Friesian, cows weigh up to 500 to 600 kg, whereas ox may up to 800 to 900 kg. Local cows can give as much as 3 to 4 liters milk per day. Milking period is 6 to 7 months in a year. But in case of Holstein Friesian, cows can give 35 to 40 liters milk per day till the next year birth. Bullocks are capable, in case of local cattle, bullocks are capable of producing very poor quantity meat and draft power for agricultural activities. But in case of Holstein Friesian, meat and draft power is very much high quality. Here, in case of local cattle, milk fat consists of 1 to 1.5%, but in case of Holstein Friesian, milk fat is 4 to 4.5%. Local cows obtain physical maturity at late and thus provide first birth at the age of 3 to 4 years. But in case of Holstein Friesian, the period is 2.5 years. And physical appearances for local cattle is small, but physical appearances is Holstein Friesian is large. This is all about comparison between local cattle and Holstein Friesian. Now finally the question number D is, in the context of Bangladesh, it's more profitable to keep which breed of the cow? Analyzed according to the stem. In the context of Bangladesh, local cattle rearing is more profitable because this is the origin of Bangladesh. But in case of exotic breed, origin from exotic breed is not Bangladesh, they are come from abroad. So the rearing of local cattle is more profitable for this reason. So these are all about this question and answer. Now, one question come from Dhaka, Joshua, Silet, Dinajpur Board 2019. Two figures are given. One is Black Bengal goat, another is Jomunapari or Ramchagol. Figure X and figure Y. Question number C. Explain the characteristics of the animal mentioned in the figure X. Figure X indicates Black Bengal goat. The characteristics are: this is the base goat breed for producing meat and skin. Its origin in Bangladesh. A doe can give birth up to 2 to 4 kids twice a year, maximum 8. A doe can give birth at the age of only 13 to 14 months. Its skin is generally black and body is compact. Its skin is of very much high quality and mutton is quite tasty. Its ears are short and erected and horse horns are short but towards the back. Mature male and female breed may weigh up to 15 kg and 10 kg respectively. Females can give 8.5 to 1.4 liter milk per day under balanced diet and proper management. These are all about the characteristics of Black Bengal goat. Now, among figure X and Y, which animal rearing is more profitable economically? Explain your opinion. Figure X, that is indicates Black Bengal goat. Rearing is more profitable economically because its meat and skin is very much high quality and give birth and more kids twice a year and maximum 8 giving child. So these are all about these questions and answers. Thanks to all for patience sharing.